Hi guys, the video you've been waiting for, the most popular video that every woman wants to know and learn is how to highlight and contour. So on today's video, I'm gonna teach you how to highlight and contour. On one side, I'm gonna be showing you how to do it with liquids and creams and powders. And then on this side, I'm gonna teach you how to complete it with just powders. So grab your brushes, grab your makeup, take a seat, and follow along with me as I teach you how to complete both sides to find out which one suits you best. All right, so this side, I'm gonna show you how to cream contour using creams, then setting it with powder. And then on this side, I'm gonna show you how to contour with just powders. So I'm gonna show you both because sometimes you don't have time to do the cream contour then the powder because it takes a little bit longer. And if you're like on the go and you only have like a few minutes, but you still wanna be snatched, you can use the powder method. Okay, so if you watched my previous video on how to color correct underneath your eyes and apply concealer to brighten, I already have concealer underneath my eyes and I also color corrected as well. Right now on my face, I have a liquid foundation. I'm using Haus Labs everywhere and I love this foundation. I will make a video going in depth of all foundations for all skin types, so stay tuned for that. But right now, I just have on foundation without it being set with any powder, because I'm gonna show you how to literally do it from ground up. So it's just foundation, concealer, no powder. Okay, so when you are doing highlight and contour, you do your regular concealer like I showed you in my previous video. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to carve your face out. So I am going to use Makeup by Mario. I'm going to first focus on this side. Okay, we're just going to do creams and powders. So I'm going to use a Makeup by Mario stick in medium dark, and I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand. I don't like to put it directly onto my face because I feel like it's harder to blend when you literally have it on your face. So I would rather just take control and apply it myself. And I'm using a Sephora brush, foundation brush number 47. And I'm just gonna melt it in to my hand, on my hand. And right here where my ear, the tip of my ear is, that's gonna be my guide. And I am going to begin by just applying it in stippling motion. I'm just kind of like patting it from the top because we are doing a natural lift. So everything's gonna be high. So starting there, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more and I'm gonna go on the sides of my hairline, like actually in my hair, because I want it to look like the sun just kissed me and I have a natural tan. So I'm gonna do it onto my hairline, connecting to the sides of my face, and I'm stopping midway right here. I'm not going further out. I find that sometimes it can start mixing with the concealer and start mixing weird. So I just like to stop midway, and then I have such breakouts right here, guys. This is real life, okay? This is not edited, airbrushed. Okay, now I'm gonna go in onto my jawline, just like this. Just like that. And you can already see how tan I'm looking. Okay, now I'm going to grab my Luxie brush. This is a nose contour brush. I love that it's dual-sided. Mind you, these are all my personal brushes, so they're not gonna look super sparkly and clean, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys do not wash your brushes like you're supposed to. I actually wash my brushes every 5 weeks because I wash my brushes when I get a facial done because you wanna, you know, have a fresh start. So please make sure to wash your brushes. Okay. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use the bigger side. And oh wait, guys, I almost forgot. we need to do the nose contour. Okay, yes, okay. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Natasha Denona right in the middle of my nose. What's on my face right now underneath my eye is NARS Radiant Concealer. That's what I have underneath my eyes. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Natasha Denona, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm using two different ones. But I'm going right in the center of my nose and a couple dots in the center of my forehead. So I'm just gonna grab my sponge from Paw Paw, just like how I mentioned in my last video. Love these. I just discovered them from Amazon. They are the jam, super squishy, soft, and they're only like $7, $7 to $10, I think, for like a pack of 6. So great, love them. Please make sure to always wet your sponge, never use it dry. So when I'm blending it right in the center, I'm just patting it. I'm not going side to side because I want that little narrow area to be there. And I'm going on the sides of my eyebrows too, because I don't want it to be like just a straight line in the middle of my eyebrows. And the reason why I put some right on the center of my forehead is because I want there to be brightness right in the center, to give me more of a highlight. And I'm just blending it everywhere because I don't want just a glob of light concealer right in the center of my forehead. Now I'm gonna go in with the bronzer from from Makeup by Mario in medium dark, and I'm grabbing my Luxie brush that I was telling you guys about, my nose contour brush, and I'm gonna pick some up and apply a little bit in the center of my nose and just trace it on the side. So literally on the side of where the light concealer is, I'm going right on the sides of that. So I'm doing this and I'm going all the way up to the front of my eyebrow. I want my eyebrow and my shadow to look like it's seamlessly blending with my contour. Okay, so after I do that, I am going to go in with liquid blush. This is in the color Happy, Rare Beauty. Love her stuff. Selena Gomez hit it out the park with a lot of her makeup items. So great. I'm going to use the same brush that I used to apply bronzer. I'm just going to remove a little bit of the bronzer that's on my brush. And again, I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand. And I am going to set it right on the top of my cheeks. Again, we want everything to be lifted, guys. Okay, so I'm kind of going on top of the bronzer a little bit and raising it all the way up to literally the sides of my face, kind of going towards the hairline. This will give you a natural lift. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I love blush. Blush is my jam. I feel like it looks so youthful, gives you color. I am a blush girly for sure. And I'm just doing a patting motion. And I love doing this because I have more control of application. Okay. So after I did that, remember how I was telling you guys that I already had the NARS Radiant Concealer underneath my eyes? The reason why I'm using two is because I love the Natasha Denona concealer, but I have not found a good tone for me. It's a little bit lighter. I actually find that it creases less than my NARS Radiant Concealer, so I really do enjoy this concealer. And I am going to apply it on top of my NARS that I already have. And I'm just gonna apply it here right in the center. This is gonna give me a little bit more brightness. And I find that when I'm doing my foundation, then concealer, then doing all of my highlight and contour, it kind of like fades a little bit. So I'm applying a little bit more concealer just to brighten it and also melt everything together. So I'm just applying it right in the inner area of my face, and I'm going towards the sides of my nose and making sure all of this is blended out. And then I'm going to just, whatever's left over, just start blending it towards my blush and my bronzer, just like so. By the way, thank you Creative Beauty Co for sponsoring this video. If you are in the Arizona area and you are wanting to know how to do makeup on yourself, I offer private one-on-one hands-on makeup lessons as well as master classes for aspiring makeup artists and makeup artists. Or if you are just needing an artist for special events or your special wedding day, I am your girl. Hit the link below to contact me. After I do that, this is where I am going to set everything. So now that you have all of your liquids and your creams on one side, this is where you can start setting everything so it can stay. I'm going to use the One Size translucent powder. Literally, I'm so sad about the Givenchy loose powder that they discontinued. It is so amazing, chef's kiss, but we're just waiting for the new one to launch and hopefully it's just as good as the original formula. So I have tried the One Size powder and I actually do like it. So I have been using this in replacement to my Givenchy. So I'm gonna use a little puff triangle that you can get from Amazon as well. You can get like a 10-pack for like $7. I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand before I apply it. And I'm just gonna do a little patting motion right on the center of my face, on the sides of the nose, and barely going through right in here. I'm kind of not focusing in this area here because that is where our fine lines like to creep. So if you do have mature skin, you can totally do the exact same thing very, very lightly, right? Like kind of where your lash line is, just to set that little area. Okay, then I'm gonna set the sides, my laugh lines, and then chin, where the concealer is, and where my concealer is on my forehead as well. Then I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite setting powders from MAC. It's called the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish, and this is in the color medium golden. And I like using this one specifically because it's not so mattifying and it doesn't make you look like you're wearing powder. It melts into the skin. So that's why I really enjoy using this one. So if you are dry, you can absolutely use this for sure as well. So I'm just grabbing my puff and I'm just setting in all the areas where my foundation is. And I love this because this will give you more of a fuller coverage too. So just in case you missed an area where the foundation didn't really hit and cover everything, not to worry, because this is where the powder comes in to give you more of a fuller coverage and also set you in all the right places. So grab the forehead. And like I said, I'm naturally like normal to oily. So I am not afraid to go in with a good amount of powder because my natural oils will seep through. But even if you are dry, this will not make you look dry, like I said. Okay, now I'm gonna set my cream contour bronzer with Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer, and this is in the color tan. And I'm going to use an angled brush. Let me use this one actually. I'm using the Patrick Tall angled brush. I'm gonna pick some up. And again, I'm gonna start where my ear is, and that is gonna be my guide. And I'm just going to pat it on top of where I placed the cream contour, just like this. Then I'm gonna apply some onto my jawline because we need to hide the chinny chin chin. Then I'm gonna go into my hairline, just like this. And then I'm gonna go in with a fluffy crease brush. This is, what number is this? 286 from MAC. It's a dual fiber, so it's synthetic and natural bristles. And I'm gonna apply right in the middle of my nose and right on top of where I place the cream contour on my nose all the way up to my eyebrow. Again, we want everything to blend seamlessly. Then I'm gonna apply a little bit of blush with the exact same brush that I used from Patrick Tall, the angled brush. And I am gonna use the blush She's the Moment, which is a peachy, beautiful blush. And I'm just going to pat it right on top, just like so, all the way up to the high sides of my face, because again, we are lifting whatever's left over, put it onto the center of your face. So this is one side, this is creams, okay guys? Hopefully you're following along with me and you're not falling asleep because we still have one side to go. Okay, so now I am going to show you what you can do with just powder contour. So again, NARS Radiant Concealer is on this side. My House Labs foundation is on there, no powder at all. But I am gonna go in with Natasha Denona, just right into the inner corner of my eye using my Paw Paw sponge. Just like this. Right on the sides of the nose. And again, I'm using the Natasha Denona only to brighten it even more. Okay. After I do that, I'm gonna immediately start setting because again, I'm not gonna do all the cream. So I'm just gonna go straight to powder. So this is quicker whenever you just have like 30 minutes to do your makeup and you wanna hit every point, this is what you can do. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the One Size translucent powder, and right after I'm done applying the concealer underneath my eye, I'm gonna go directly into setting it. So I'm gonna start setting underneath, just like this. And again, you'll set the center of your nose, forehead, jawline, chin, not jawline, chin, and laugh lines. Okay, now I'm gonna go into setting everything right after. So I'm using my Mineralized Skinfinish from MAC, same powder that I was using to set on the other side, and I'm using my puff. I find that applying powder with a puff gives you way more coverage than actually using a large brush, like a large powder brush. So doing this, just setting it everywhere, giving you more coverage, just like that. Whoa, what a difference, right? Snatched and just one color. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my angled brush, Patrick Tall, same bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm doing the exact same steps of what I just did with the powder on the other side. So starting from the high points, patting it midway, and then doing the chinny chin chin, the jawline. So you're kind of doing like a 3 on each side of your, like a 3 and an E, just like this. And I am going to go inside of my hairline. Don't be afraid to get into your hair, because you don't want there to be a difference between your foundation and your bronzer. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the same crease brush that I used for my nose, and I am just going to set it. And I'm gonna go in with my blush, just like this. And you're gonna see the difference between the two. Okay, I'm gonna apply some onto my chin, nose, and forehead. And then after applying that, I love using highlighter. So I'm using the Nicole Guerriero. This is totally 2016 makeup, but I love this highlighter specifically. This is like my third one. Can you tell which one's my favorite? It's this one, the Glow Getter. And I'm going to use a highlighter brush from Morphe. What number is this? I think this is M501, I think it is. I'll have everything jotted down in my description. Okay, I'm gonna pick some up and I'm gonna put some right where my cheekbone is, but higher. Because if you are already oily, you don't wanna go all the way down here because you are going to look really oily. And if you have large pores, they will accentuate your pores. So I'm just gonna apply in the high points here and even towards the sides of my face. Gonna grab a little bit more and put it on the side, in the center of my nose. I don't like to put some right in the point of my nose, just like in the center. And I'm gonna just highlight the sides of my forehead, just so when I turn my face, I have the perfect amount of highlight. I'm gonna place it there, just like this. Perfect. And you're probably wondering, what is the difference? As you can see here, if it's just powder, it does look more natural, but it's not as pigmented. And if you use creams, it looks more dewy, a little bit more like skin. So that is why it is great to do the extra step if you are going out to a special event. I mean, this will still give you a great effect, but it's a little bit more on the dull side. This gives you, the cream contour and the powder gives you a little bit more life, but again, it still is a beautiful application regardless of what you choose to do, because you're still going above and beyond by contouring your face. So it just depends on preference and time, but you have two different options as to how much time and how you want your final look to look like. Okay, so real quick, to put shadow underneath your eyes to kind of just seal the deal, I'm gonna go in with a small brush, 239 from MAC. I'm picking up my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that I used, and I'm just gonna apply some right underneath my lash line. And this is a little trick that I love because it actually gives an illusion that you don't really have fine lines, so it kind of camouflages it. So I just apply it right underneath and I drag it just a little bit lower, and you can see that it camouflages your fine lines. So I like to do this part just like this. And then of course, grab your mascara to seal the deal. Love this mascara, Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. And I'm just going to apply a quick little coat. I'm doing this so you guys can see the final look with everything. Okay. So after applying your blush, I'm gonna go in with a lip color just so you can kind of see how everything ties together. I'm gonna go in with NYX Mauve lip liner. First, gonna grab a little bit of lipstick Modesty from MAC. I'm obsessed with these Makeup by Mario. Lip gloss. What are they? Are they like a lip balm and a lip gloss had a baby? I don't know, but they're so great. Just gonna grab a little color. And when you do your lipstick, you can kind of see that it kind of can wash you out just a little bit. So this is a part where I always add a little bit more blush, because I feel like you can really see what your final look will look like. So I just add a little bit more blush. And there you have it. This is cream and powder contour, and this is just powder contour. Hopefully this helped. Please let me know if you have any questions down below. See you soon.